Though I'm radiant, radical, resilient, I'm still learning what it means to simply be me. And while you're on your journey, know the value of simply being you.
Hey peoples, what's good? It's Ray here, and welcome back to the Simply Ray channel. I'm so excited to get into one of the topics. I don't know, like if y'all have seen the table talk for Jada Pinkett Smith and like the Smith family. She does this table talk, and it's super like cool. They talk about some really good topics, and I have enjoyed the episodes that I've watched on Facebook. One episode that really stuck out to me, there are many that have stuck out to me, but one in particular was the Smith's family health intervention. I think that's what it's called. I loved this episode. They invited the world to go on the journey with them, and I said I am going to give examples of my take of the episode and what resonated with me and my health journey, which is I'm a beginner. Okay, I'm just starting my health journey like today. So there's a lot that I need to learn, number one. And then number two, like these moms out here got money, so they have the best doctors, and they have the best health plan that they can get on. And so what I want to try to do is find that health plan on a budget. I want to use common sense and research that I found on Google and things that are where my body is speaking to me and how my body is taking different foods that I eat. So I'm just going to do a more simple version. So that'll be in another video. So one thing that resonated with me is just my relationship with food. I don't have a healthy relationship with food. I eat whatever the heck I want, whenever I want. And that's just the real. I know it's not healthy. I know that, especially as believers, like we be acting like straight gluttony is not no sin. Like we want to highlight other sins so tough, but we don't be talking about how after service we about to eat a bunch of food. We about to go to a buffet. Like that ain't right neither. But we don't talk about it because it's this whole culture around food. And I grew up in a big family, and my mom and dad can cook real good. And it was just always food around, and good food like roast and fried chicken, baked chicken, mashed potatoes, and baked macaroni and cheese and greens. And I'm not saying all of those are bad, but we just smothered it in oil and butter and that kind of stuff. And so my cooking style is like I want to eat the foods that I grew up with, but it just doesn't sit well on my stomach. And those are some things that they were talking about. So some of the things that they were talking about at the beginning of the Red Table Talk is like eating and then going to sleep. That for real is me. I'll eat at like if I even choose to eat that day, because I'll eat like a bag of chips or like a fry or a plate of fries and then go to bed. And I ain't have nothing green and like at all. No broccoli, no kale, no nothing. I'm just like, I'm too tired. I don't feel like doing anything. And I'm just going to eat and go to bed. I'm going to eat 1 or 2 meals a day if I'm doing good. Or, like I said, no real true meal at all. Another thing they talked about in the video was being an emotional eater. Now, me growing up, I didn't think I was an emotional eater because I'm just like, I eat when I'm hungry. But now that I'm in like this new place in my life, I actually found that I am an emotional eater. Like I don't no, I take that back. I'm an emotional eater and not eater. When I'm emotionally eating, I'm like, I'm really feeling down about myself. So I'm about to go to Wendy's. Okay? And this is don't like my family gonna watch this and be like, how dare she go to Wendy's now? I'm telling y'all, it's been a real struggle here. I goes to Wendy's, but like I don't even really need to go to Wendy's, and it's not gonna sit well on my stomach at all. But I'm like, I don't feel good today. I'm upset. I'm gonna eat whatever I want. So if I want a milkshake, I'm about to go get a milkshake. If I am wanting something greasy and full of bacon and cheese, I'm gonna do that because I just don't feel good, and I deserve this. So I'm gonna do whatever I want. That's when I'm like emotionally eating, or I'll just like won't eat. Like I feel like I can't even get out of bed, and I just like skip it. I'm not gonna eat at all. And I know that those are unhealthy habits. Another thing that I kind of struggle with is inconsistency. So I'll be like a vegan one week and then a vegetarian one week. I'll be on the keto diet. Anything they didn't put out on the internet, I'm trying. Now, I'm not like a trend, like I'm not necessarily with trends. I am influenced by social media. I'm not going to act like I'm not. But those things I found have never worked. Like I have to get on something that is going to help me to just eat better, feel better, and have a better relationship with food. Not binge eating or not eating at all or not having a real schedule when I eat. So one of the guests on the show, her name was Dr. Mona Sharma, and she was keeping it so real. She asked some questions that I was asking myself as they were like, talking about just food. And one of the questions was, how do you feel when you wake up in the morning? And I'm like, I feel tired and achy. Something is hurting on me. Now, y'all, I be feeling like 1,000 years old. I be like achy, like my ankle will hurt. I wake up and my back hurting, my neck is hurting. I'm like, why am I so achy? I ain't working out. I ain't sore from no workout, so I don't know why I'm achy. I'm just not really sleeping well through the night. I like wake up at random times. And it's crazy because like you ever talk about this stuff with your friends and they like, yeah, me too. But it's like, I don't think we're supposed to be like waking up tired and not having good eating habits. Like we just made such a culture around it and it just feels like the norm that it feels so normal to do these things. And it's really not. And so I'm challenging myself to find a regimen, which is very difficult. Another thing, Dr. Mona Sharma, and Dr. Mona Sharma, if you ever watch this, I am so sorry. You are beautiful inside and out. I don't mean to murder your name. But one thing she talked about was trauma. And how does trauma, one of the questions were, have you experienced trauma within the last 5 years? And I've grown up and experienced a lot of trauma. But in particular, these last year and a half, I would say, I've experienced a lot of deaths in my family. Like to the point that it's like back to back, like going to funerals every week. And it's like either someone in my family or someone so close to me that they're basically, like I was raised to know them as family and passing. And that just really took a toll on me because I could never recover because it was like the next week someone else passed. That's what I'm gonna just call her. Dr. Mona talked about how trauma gets into when we experience things like back to back and over again, it gets into your DNA, it gets into your thought process, and it gets into your cells. Oh my gosh, I did not know that. Like, no wonder. It's literally like a full cycle. Your body, you're not gonna feel like eating certain foods. You're gonna crave not so good foods. It's gonna affect the way how you look into the world. It's gonna affect your mood, and then you're gonna like be sad, and then you're gonna like stay sad, and it's gonna get in your cells. It's like inside of your cells. And when she said that, I was like, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. I was like, I am coming against the trauma in my cells because I don't want to pass that down to my children. I don't want to pass these unhealthy habits down. And one thing she said, it's a new study, and this is what she said. So I didn't come up with this. This Dr. Mona, go watch the Red Table Talk. I'm sure she's going to talk more about that. But what they have found was that traits are not hereditary, not traits. What they have found in study is that different genetic, like what am I trying to say? What they have found in studies is that, like, let's say your grandfather had heart disease and then your dad had heart disease, and now they're like, we're gonna put you on this medicine so that you don't get heart disease. What they're finding is that's not always the case, that certain diseases are not hereditary. It's like the habits and the foods that you pass down, and so it's doing to your body what it was doing to your ancestor. The best way that I can explain it, I'm sure again you can get in the book and they can explain it better. But that to me spoke volumes. And it's like I have the power today to change the future. Like if I want to be better today, I can change my eating habits. I can change what I'm feeding myself physically, spiritually, emotionally, so that my whole entire body can be okay. So though I was watching this and realizing I am a hot mess, a hot mess. There's a lot of things I need to learn, but I realize that I'm hopeful because a lot of people are struggling with this too, and there's help out there for us so that we don't have to struggle like this forever. So again, some things that just to kind of recap because I know I have said a lot. We just as people we develop not healthy habits, but just how we can develop them unhealthy habits, we can develop really good ones because our bodies deserve to be treated right, and it affects everything. Like I honestly felt like things were separate. Like your food and it's just your food goes just through your body, but I didn't think how that was affecting my mind and how that was affecting my soul. Like it literally is all connected, and that's just again what I'm learning on this journey. And so I'm grateful to have got that tip now, and now I just got to do the hard work to be better. And so that's what I'm gonna say to you. Again, you deserve to be here. If you here, you're loved. You deserve to be here. If you're on this earth, you have a purpose. So that you can fulfill your purpose, you have to have a healthy body. And so that's what we're on our journey to do. I'm gonna do a video on some low level things, just the beginner. So some things that we can do to help ourselves feel better and so that we can live out our purpose. Now go and be great.